What is up, everybody? Welcome to the SegaCrew stream. Been here for a while, but I'm just now showing up. What's up? My name is WitherMin. I am the world record holder for a majority of the categories in Sonic Adventure, including the Sonic story, which we'll be taking a look at here today. I play a bunch of other Dreamcast games. I love the Dreamcast. I'm super glad to be here today, showing off the console's biggest, most titular of titles. We're gonna go ahead and get this started here. I'm gonna just ramble through this intro cutscene because there's ain't much to talk about right now but that. But yeah, just want to say, thanks everybody for being here, and thanks SegaCrew for hosting this event, really. The Dreamcast as a console that means so much to me, and really over the last couple of years has only continued to grow even more for me in importance. This game, and really Dreamcast speedrunning in general, has defined so much of my life over the last, honestly at this point, 3 years. So to have the chance to be here, surrounded, in love, with other people who love this console as much as I do, it's a fantastic feeling. Of course, right before me was one of my bestest friends in the whole world, GB Says Hi. I love that dude to death. And if you didn't check out his run and you showed up for Sonic Adventure, you should check out his stuff. Dude does a bunch of really cool games. He's a very good friend. But speaking of very good friends, we've got our good friend Chaos here. Chaos is about to get shot by the police for being something they don't understand. Very typical. Anyway, I apologize throughout this run as well if I cough or if I sound particularly nasally. I'm just now recovering from being pretty ill, so my bad, but timing is what timing is. Now, Sonic Adventure. You may be wondering, okay, you sat through the cutscene, why didn't you skip it? I can't. A lot of the cutscenes in this game are unskippable under normal circumstance, but don't you worry. There is a lot of abnormal circumstance in this run. Sonic Adventure is a game that every day grows further and further apart from its more popular remake, Sonic Adventure DX. A lot of people claim they've played Sonic Adventure. A lot of people are lying on accident, as Sonic Adventure is only on the Dreamcast. And every other variant of Sonic Adventure is a pretty dramatic remake, which changes a huge majority of how the game plays. Sonic Adventure DX, which you can find on, GameCube, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, all of those are based off of they're all a remake based off the framework established with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. So it's almost like a Sonic Adventure remake in the style of Sonic Adventure 2. It ends up being a very dramatically different game. But yeah, Sonic's iconic black shoes. I can actually talk about that too, so I've got a little bit of time. You'll notice that characters are wearing slightly different colored clothing, and some of the music's a bit different. Because we made a big community shift to GDEMU, we decided to allow minor cosmetic customization on clothing, as well as ADX changes, which is, minor music changes. That's something you can do super easily, and it loads on real hardware, fantastic. It's just cool. It doesn't really impact anything at all. It's just neat to have, and it lets runners have a little personal touch with the game. And it's of the style. The Sonic Adventure is a game riddled with DLC. It's got a bunch of really cool DLC. This feels kind of in spirit with some of the DLC they might do. So I'm going to be blasting through Emerald Coast here. I'll take some time to explain some strats down the road when I have a chance, but Sonic Adventure is a tough game to commentate while playing alone. So the fastest method of movement throughout this game is a strategy called path dashing, where we're going to take the initial spin dash chart, and then we're going to do small spin dashes repeatedly and chain them as quickly as we can to maintain the speed of that first spin dash. But this game, very much inspired by the Genesis games, does have a lot of momentum, so we need to be in a ball whenever we're going downhill, because that can actually get us past the spin dash charge cap. So it's faster for me to roll like that than it would be for me to chain in that specific downhill. Pretty decent Emerald Coast. Yeah, if you're in the chat right now, tell me your favorite Sonic stories. Tell me what you got about. Talk to me about the Dreamcast. Talk to me about your experience with this console. Have you played the adventure games? Have you played them on real hardware? What do you have going on? I don't have a timer going or anything. I'm just kind of explaining the game as I'm playing it. This is more of a casual playthrough for me. I played this on $9.99. That's what I like to hear. So what I'm doing here is a trick called SRE, and since I saw Reset Exit on Emerald Coast, that's actually just going to kill Tails in this cutscene. I'm not going to get into the technical details of it because it's really stupid. But, so we're going to skip this intro cutscene with Tails. We are going to do a clip with Tails and skip to one of his later stages, because utilizing Tails inside of one of his later stages, we can skip a bunch of cutscenes in Sonic's story. SA1 was the first and only Dreamcast game I played as a kid at a relative's house from PS. That's crazy! It's the only one? Yeah, so we actually skipped this cutscene in Sonic Story by soft resetting the console during it, because the game just so happens to not count that as a story flag, so that wouldn't get skipped when we soft reset. But we have to watch it with Tails to set this up.
Wow!
This game is just such a vibe. Alright, so this is a clip that got found about a week or two ago here with Tails. Makes this whole setup way easier. So we're going to do that, get some speed off this invisible wall, and then, oh, I'm a little low, but going to be fine. We are going to be going straight into Tails Casino. So this is actually like a combination of some of the hardest stuff in Tails to make Sonic a little faster, which is pretty funny. This is a strategy called Penis Smasher. This strat is really hard. There is a microscopic place you can stand, and you have to walk past it and back into it to get this door to close on you. Oh, there we go.
You made it!
Alright, so that actually went pretty well. That trick is obnoxiously difficult because the place you need to clip is microscopic. That went relatively well, all things considered. That's a huge reset point. I expected to be there for at least like a minute or two. But now we're done with Tails. We're only going to see him whenever he decides to go gambling from this point forward.
Let's get down!
So now we are going to continue Sonic's story, and, Tails went gambling. That's fine, we'll catch up with him later. we are off to the Mystic Ruins to take on the Egg Hornet boss, and we have another cutscene skip. So this is going to be our first, like, quote-unquote traditional cutscene skip in the game. So for this one, we have to find a way to die while entering it, and thankfully there's a kill plane right here.
Sonic.
So if you've ever played or like seen speedrunning of a Zelda game, particularly the one that comes to mind with this concept is what is it called? Yeah, Wind Waker. That game has a concept called like the zombie state and the zombie hover, where that all takes place after Link is out of health. That is a similar state to when you can fully control Sonic after he's dead in the hub world.
Hey guy.
So for Sonic, what you want to do is you want to die, hit a kill plane, then drift into the cutscene. That causes all that silliness to happen. So you're able to skip a good chunk of the cutscenes in the game by doing that. And so when you're in the Mystic Ruins, you actually just so happen to have there's a kill plane that's super small that just so happens to have the exact same coordinates as where the casino exits you whenever you exit the stage. So that's why we go into Tails. For that cutscene that you saw start, we're actually going to do a soft reset exit inside of Casino. Then we're going to go back into Sonic, and that cutscene after Egg Hornet is going to just die. So canonically for us, that's where Eggman dies in this story. He actually doesn't come back for a long time. He doesn't show back up until nearly the end of Sonic's story in the campaign. Yeah, y'all talking about breakfast. I have not had a chance to eat a single time today, and now it's bled into tomorrow. I am super hungry. Yeah, we're inside of Windy Valley now, which is one of my favorite stages in the game. I just think this one's super neat. Okay, good tornado skip. You want to get into a ball form whenever you hit that jump panel. Okay, now I'm going to be going for a trick called Windy Valley 3 skip. Oh, I went a little bit far forward. Okay, I'm fine. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm avoiding a bunch of kill planes in the air and falling. I slip myself through two little kill planes like a coin, and I'm now falling towards the end of the stage.
Yes. Yeah, it's okay.
I could have gone for cheese pizza too. I was thinking about grabbing a pizza earlier, but like, I just didn't have like I don't know. I just wasn't feeling good earlier, so it was like, I was driving. Like I was at work. I didn't want to grab anything. I was like, I'll grab something before I stream later. And then like that just didn't fucking happen. Like that just didn't happen. I just completely forgot to grab food.
Light shoes よ。アクションボタンを押し続けるとパワーが溜まるの。パワーが溜まってからボタンを離すとライトスピードダッシュが使えるわ。ライトスピードダッシュはリングに向かって高速移動ができるから。 リングさえつながっていればどこへだって行くことができるのよ。
So now I've got the Lightspeed shoes, we are off to Casinopolis. Here's a trick that's only possible on the JP version of the game. You're able to clip through that door there, so you don't have to hit the button. That's a trick called FTB. What does that acronym stand for? I'll let you decide.
Yes. Yeah, it's okay.
I clearly remember taking a walk in London in 1999 past one of the first CEX stores in Rathborne Place. I saw the window, my first sighting of a Dreamcast with a little LCD monitor next to it with this game on it. I stood there for ages. This game is so cool. Like, the first time that you see Sonic Adventure... Like, this game also aged fantastic, I should say. Like, this game has such a good art style. Like, sure, it might look a bit dated, I guess, but the lighting is still good, and the models and whatnot, the consistent art style of Sonic Adventure, makes this game look so timeless to me. I've heard some people kind of dog on how this game looks retroactively, because there's a lot of, like, flame wars online about which game looks better, SA1 versus SATX. So, like, this game's kind of been getting dragged recently, but even still... I think SA1 is just such a timeless looking game.
あいつも必死だな。
これでエメラルドはエッグマンが2個、僕らが1個だ。負けていられないよ、ソニック。
Yeah, nothing looking nearly anywhere as good. That's what I'm saying. Like, I make this comparison all the time and people get mad at me. But, like, this game came out a little bit before, or maybe not before, but, like, the same year as Ocarina of Time. And this game blows Ocarina of Time out of the water. And it has, like, I would consider a similar scope as to what it's trying to do. So it's not like it's comparing apples to oranges there. They were trying to kind of evoke the same feelings. The Dreamcast is just a powerful console. It's a real strong console. With a real good controller. I love the Dreamcast controller. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion, but I think this thing is mad comfortable. It's one of my favorite controllers of all time. Oh, let's go. Yeah, that's true. If you try to compare modern games, like what modern games look like now, to like older games, if you're playing an old game for the first time and you're like, why does this not look like current games on PlayStation 5? You're definitely going to be a bit disappointed. But it's like, I don't know, even this game, like, I've played this game, I've played like remakes of this game, texted and whatnot, but like even still, just really like playing this game on original hardware. It just feels and looks so much better in my opinion. Just how I remember this stage. Yeah. I kind of realized that without a co-commentator, I'm just gonna kind of ramble about other stuff while the game's in the background. So I hope everyone's here to just enjoy Sonic Adventure and their day. It's a cool game. Oh hey, y'all like cutscene skips? I got another one of those for you. Hey, check this out. Woo! That's called Raisin Launch, because it was found by Broby. We had a different way to skip that cutscene before, but it was like way harder. Yeah, the Naomi games. Naomi games play so well on Dreamcast. Oh my god, CPS 2 on Dreamcast? That game rules. That game feels so good on DC.
Let's get down!
What did Knuckles do to you? And the speedrun canon, I guess nothing.
Ah! Shut up!
Yeah, the Dreamcast really didn't have any garbageware. Cutscene skips are so wild to see. They're definitely like the big appeal of the run now. Like they've become a huge part of how the game is developed. This game has gotten so sick. Them super fantastic. I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. I wish I had the timer. Yeah, so the only mod I have in my current Dreamcast is a GDMU, but I actually won the SegaCrew giveaway, so I'll have a new one. I'll have a new, nice, modded one with all the bells and whistles. As for the one that I currently have right now, this Dreamcast that I'm currently playing on, I'm going to be donating to a runner in need in the Sonic Adventure community who's currently stuck on emulator.
Hey guys! また遊んでやるぜ!
It's crazy that this game is 25 years old. Like, you know, we were saying don't compare these to modern games, but like, this game still feels modern. Why is, like... And I complain about this all the time. I really do. This is my new soapbox. Welcome to the Wither Soapbox. That's what this stream is turning into. Why is this the best feeling Sonic game still? Like, why are the two best feeling Sonic games on the Dreamcast? Come on. It's 25 years old! They should make games that feel as good as this. But they can't! The Dreamcast is just too powerful. They don't make hardware as powerful anymore. Alright, so this is a trick called Disney Fast Pass. This might also be where we get stuck for a minute, because this trick is apparently completely free. Apparently, you can't miss it if you tried. Even though it's like the hardest trick in Sonic's story, apparently, you know, if you just think about it hard enough, it just always works. Anyway, that trick I just did is called Disney Fast Pass. That Lightspeed dash is actually like not released by me, it's released by the cutscene trigger, and there is a wall about the size of Sonic that is meant to stop you. Like, that wall is to prevent you from doing exactly that. So, it's really obnoxious to try to get around it, to say the least. And now we're in Sky Chase, so we've got about a minute and 45 seconds of nothing. Interesting factoids, I suppose. is that I run the game with a Rumble Pack. I actually have the official Sega branded Jump Pack, or whatever it's called. I speedrun the game with that in because I think it's fun. And yeah, on that whole conversation happening in chat right now, the Dreamcast controller is a Hall Effect stick, so there is no Dreamcast controller that drifts. If you have issues with your Dreamcast controller, it almost always comes from the PCB itself having issues, or there was like a heavy magnet held up against it or something. And almost all of that is somewhat fixable. But the DC is a console and a controller that are both made with repairability in mind. It's very easy to get into, it's very easy to service. Sega intended you to be able to fix it. And they also built it in a way that would never break, except for the disk drive, you know, am I right? Yeah, what a good console. Sega really, like, went off when they made this damn thing. And then Capcom jumped on them. Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Like, Capcom really went crazy, making and porting a bunch of the best games they've ever made to the console as well. Like, if you're a Capcom fan, the Dreamcast is like one of the best consoles ever made. And even still, with the new games, like with all the new ports that Capcom are making, there are still some Capcom games being left behind on the Dreamcast that have yet to be ported. Including a fighting game. Yeah, Dino Crisis, the RE ports. There's technically another remake of Code Veronica, but like the original release is still DC only, as far as I know. Then yeah, Cannon Spike and Techromancer was the big one. Because I did a speedrun of Techromancer earlier today. Well, yesterday. I don't know. Kind of hard to tell time, but... Well, yeah, but the Capcom vs. SNK games are inside of the new fighting collection. Like, those are about to escape the Dreamcast. Cannon Spike, Techromancer, Dino Crisis, and the RE ports, even after this new collection releases, are still DC exclusive.
なんだ、いないのか。大丈夫かな。
I think Dino Crisis might be on PlayStation as well, thinking about it. But either way, I think that's PS1 only. I don't know if that has any backwards compatibility support, though.
Let's get down!
DC has crazy ports. Like, if you were a multi-plat gamer and you didn't have a good PC, the Dreamcast hard carried. Dreamcast Rayman 2 is so good. Alright, so I heard y'all like cutscene skips. I got another one for you. Oh, I missed it. That's embarrassing. There we go. Alright, so this is Twinkle Park. Twinkle Park is an interesting stage. I'm going to be collecting as many rings as I possibly can, and I'm going to be launching myself off of the track to skip a bunch of it. We're going to see if I survive. I got a crazy skew here. Whoa! So if you start going too fast, your speed, like your controls actually get inverted. So my controls got double inverted while I was in the air there. So that got really tough to be able to land, but I was able to do it. Thankfully I have a lot of practice in these cars. Shout out to Soap Zero. She typically drives the black car because she's a little freak. So I've started doing it because it's fast. But normally the consistent setup is with the light blue car. This Sonic story run's been going pretty good.
ああ、しまった。エミーとはぐれたな。あのロボット
Hey,
の
we're
やつ
approaching
エミー
mid-game,
の
so
方
I
に
think
向
this
か
is
っ
a
たん
good
だ。
time to do self-promotion.
エミーを
If
早
you've
く
been
見つけ
liking
な
the
きゃ。
run so far, you should drop me a follow. I'm really close to reaching 1,000 followers, and I think it'd be really cool if I got that eventually. I'm at like 980 or something, if I remember. And I'm a Dreamcast speedrunner. If you like the Dreamcast, you should like me. Thank you for the shout out. Yeah, Poppin' Music. It's crazy that Poppin' Music even got a port. Don't trust him, he runs Amy. Amy's awesome! I will never be bored of you. The Dreamcast is a dope machine. Yeah, I didn't know that DDR or Poppin' Music got addendum discs. That's really cool. I wish Quake 3 got Team Arena on Dreamcast. You know how sick that would have been? But, like, it didn't need it, actually, thinking about it. Because a bunch of Team Arena maps are in Quake 3. You know, okay, I'm gonna talk about Quake 3 Dreamcast real quick. Have y'all played that? Like, if you have played Quake 3, I implore you to give Quake 3 Dreamcast a try. Because it's so freaking weird. Like, that version of the game is so different. The single-player campaign follows an entirely new structure that adds a bunch of Dreamcast exclusive maps, and it adds Team Arena maps. Like, it does the regular Quake 3 campaign for a little bit, and then it's like, what if I decided to do something completely different for no reason? It's actually so nuts. I love Quake 3. Apologies for the little bit of time lost there. I had to respond to some important messages. Yeah. We use Tails gambling to skip a bunch of cutscenes. I think that's pretty funny. It's really funny how this game has... This game has, like, it's like Sonic Adventure as a speed game, has always been notoriously very long. And I think it's really funny how we managed to shorten the game quite a bit by just adding an extra stage. Like, we play more of the game to play less of it. Isn't that weird? Wow, when I don't have a plan, it's actually comical how bad I am at commentary. Normally I plan and I have someone I can back off of, because like this game is like really taxing to talk about. But like, not having anybody to speak to is actually so hard. Anyway, this is the last stage of mid-game. And it's also one of the hardest stages in the game. We'll see if I can do this. Right in the beginning, there's a trick called Rock Slide I'm going to go for. This is Red Mountain. If I can hit it, then we're going to save a bunch of time. If I don't, then I'm going to cry. Yippee! This is the best day of my life. whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, we went crazy. Ooh, yeah, I gotta wait on this one. That's okay. If you're super fast, you can use that like little green ledge there on the rock to get up, but I took a bit of time, so it's whatever. I really messed up the back half there, but even still, a 110, pretty fun. It's a good time. A great time in that stage is like anywhere below like a 59, 58. But like even still, a top level time for like a top level run in this game, you want like a sub 115. So getting a 110, even with all the major mistakes, it's not that big a deal. And I'm not to toot my own horn too hard or anything, but right now, as it stands, I'm across the board. I believe I consistently have the best times in every single stage of any runner in the game. Like I think right now, if I was to have like a bunch of runners next to me, and all of us were given like one life to do every single level, I think I would far and away have the best times across every single stage. I don't think that'll always be the case. I've put in a lot more time than a lot of other people in this community. Sonic Adventure, despite being, a 25-year-old game on the Dreamcast, is actually like a really new community still. We've only really been around for like 3 to 4 years, so there hasn't been a lot of time for people to like get established and spend a lot of time and get super good with the game yet. And a lot of people have tried coming from Statics and have dropped the game because the game just feels so fundamentally different. So to get like truly super good at this game right now, everybody that's like what I would consider top level has started with this game and has only been playing for under 2 years, 2 to 3. So that all being said, if you like Sonic Adventure, it's never too late to start playing the game. You should play Sonic Adventure. You should give this game some love. You should speedrun it. I promise it's accessible. I just made a new Sonic Story tutorial. And if you're like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I will play Sonic Adventure, but I'm not sure when I should play it. You should play it right now, because guess what? We have a Sonic Story tournament on September 20th that all skill levels are able to play in. So if you're like, well, that sounds like a great time, you should join the Discord. You should join the Sonic Adventure community. There's so much here for everybody. We all love the game. We all love having fun. Sky Chase 2 does go on for quite a while, though. I believe it's twice the length of the first one, so it's like 2 hours, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Feels like 2 hours? That's true. This is normally where I go to the bathroom. But I haven't eaten anything today. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to remind me of that. So I don't need to use the bathroom. Okay, well, we are out of what I would consider the mid-game now. Sonic's story can be broken into 3 sections that are segregated by the sky chases. There's the early game, the mid game, and the late game. We are now entering late game. And we have what most people would consider the 3 hardest stages in the game. And before then, just for prosperity, we actually do have another cutscene skip. Although, I want everybody in chat to guess how many seconds this next cutscene skip saves. I will not answer how long it saves until I see at least 3 people guess.
ソニック、安心してないで早くエミーを探そうよ。
そうだったよーし Here we go
Okay, we got a 4, we got a 16, anybody else?
What?
4, 16, and 12 frames. This cutscene skip saves exactly 9 seconds. So, this is the most literally wide cutscene skip in the entire game, because it's actually, like, kinda hard, so most people just don't even save time with it. And not only that, if you've noticed, I said this earlier, but like, I don't know if y'all have like thought about it. Every time I do a cutscene skip, Sonic dies. You know what this game has? Lives. So, cutscene skips are kind of a currency. If you're not doing well enough, you don't even get to try for the time save. And also, if you're at the point where you're still scared of Skydeck, where you could potentially game over, you might not want to go for that cutscene skip anyway, because you need your lives for it. I hopefully don't. I'm kind of good at this game. But, you know, I still die here sometimes. I fell down, unfortunately. It's okay though. Not a really big time loss. Aw, it's getting worse. Oh, come on. I got stuck on the rocket. That's so sad. A good Skydeck for me these days is like a 10, like a 108, 109. I made a bunch of mistakes here. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay
Minor time loss detected. New wing in the crap museum opened up.
なんだよこれで終わりか
環境の方が怪しいよ。ソニック、上に行ってみよう。
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you, Jinichi. Who's your favorite Sonic voice actor? Do y'all have that opinion? Have y'all thought about that? Because I think Sonic's got a lot of voice actors. And I think that Sonic has a couple good ones. Like, I really like Junichi, who's the Japanese voice of Sonic. He's been the Japanese voice of Sonic in everything forever. I think he's fantastic. Robotnik in the cartoon series. Yeah, but that's not Sonic. Even still, he is fantastic. He was fantastic. Rest in peace.
カオスエメラルドだ。
これさえあればもう用はないガンマよ
お呼びですか、ドクター・エッグマン。
Jaleel White. I think he could do it, honestly. Like, he was a good classic. I think he wasn't bad for either of the roles he played. Like, for both Sonic Sat AM and for Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. They were both very tonally different, but I think that his voice worked. You know, like, his direction was pretty good. Okay. You know, I really should have. I've said this a few times. I really should have gotten the timer because I have no idea how deep into the run I am. Well, like, I know how deep into the run I am. I'm like near the end. Like, I don't know how long I've been running for, so I don't know how close to my estimate I am. Okay, so check this out. Releasing in 1998 was the first Mario Party. Sega wanted to take a really cool reference to that to add this trick to the game, where if you stand in the right place, it becomes a goddamn Mario Party minigame, where you have to time the spin correctly to get this clip. (1998) was such a good year for gaming. This is our first introduction to Big and Froggy. It's crazy that canonically, while Eggman was talking during that cutscene, that's when Big gets Froggy out of Chaos 6. Let's go. Decent fight.
Hey guy,
So, explaining that fight. Oh my goodness, I'm explaining a speedrun, like a speedrunner. You'll notice that we grabbed a power-up before Red Mountain called the Ancient Light. And you'll notice that also there's a cutscene associated with it. You know, of course you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't know what that power-up does, because I haven't played the game in forever, but surely it's important if they're grabbing it. Unfortunately you're right, because without grabbing that power-up, we literally cannot enter Red Mountain. And that sucks. But, like, there's a monkey outside of Red Mountain you have to kill with the Lightspeed Dash. You need the Ancient Light to do that, and there is no way to get into the stage without it. But because we have the Ancient Light, we're able to use a secret on Chaos 6, which is that he takes double damage to a Lightspeed attack. He's the only boss in the entire game to function like that. It really doesn't make a lot of sense as to why he does. No other boss in the game, even on boss rush after you have all the abilities to like try later, has that effect. But now we are entering my personal favorite stage in the game, and most speedrunners' favorite stages for Sonic Story. It is Lost World. This stage is like a big pop quiz right before the end of the game. Because this stage is gigantic, it's the biggest stage of the game, and it makes you go through every single fundamental mechanic for Sonic, and it challenges you to try to use them to their fullest potential. It's such a cool stage. For a lot of people, it's where their casual playthroughs end. They're like, man, this game sucks. This game is awful. I'm bad at it, and therefore it's trash. But like, realistically, if you look inward, you realize the real problem is that you're bad at it. This stage is as fun as you are good at the game. Ooh, I knocked enough left on that. Ooh, I didn't get enough left on that either. Wow. My hand just slipped off of A. That was so tragic. This is a trick that was taken from a theoretical task. This is called Banana Route because it was found by Nixer, who's the dancing banana from Peanut Butter Jelly Time. And for the fans, I'll go for this. If I can nail this, I'll explain it. So you can actually grab that trail of rings up there with a Lightspeed Dash by like physics launching off of that box. And that's called Broby Deluxe. Because Broby found it and thought it was just a swag strat, but it actually does save like 2 seconds if you nail it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Overall, you know, not too disappointed with that Lost World. The Gravity Room went a little scuffed, but that's fine. Honestly, realistically, there haven't been any major time losses. This run's just been a bit silly.
What? どうなってんだ。ここはどこなんだ。
So now here we are in the past to look at some dead babies. Unfortunately, this is what's happening in the ongoing plot right now. Has there been many cutscene skips with the other characters found? Not nearly as many as Sonic. Sonic is by far the most developed character in the game, but just about every character has a cutscene skip at the very least. The character that has probably the most amount of looking and the least amount of finding is Big. Everybody else at least has something major. At least one. Knuckles probably has the most outside of Sonic, which is pretty funny because Knuckles already had the least amount of cutscenes in his campaign. So Knuckles is like, you know, pretty straightforward. He has some longer cutscenes, but he does not have very many. Whereas Tails, unfortunately, really needs to get some cutscene skips because his campaign is like really rough. It's more cutscene than gameplay at this point, which is pretty hard to sit through. We're coming up to the defining trick of Sonic Adventure. If you have seen SA1B Speedran, you have seen this trick. This is the final egg capsule. This is the trick the game is known for. This is a Dreamcast exclusive skip. This does not exist in any other version of the game. And it's really hard. But it skips the entirety of Final Egg if you can nail it. I'm quite used to it at this point, but this is 3 separate frame-perfect inputs, as well as a bit of intuition. Because if you do it just wrong, that ends up happening, and you hit the capsule but the level's not over, you actually have to nail the capsule in a super specific place. Otherwise, you just fall straight through it because the floor on it is misplaced. This capsule is out of bounds, and realistically is only here because of an old version of the stage which never got finished. That's why it was subsequently patched out of other versions of the game. But yeah, this trick is super hard. Typically I practice this one quite a bit before attempting a run, but today was a bit of a scramble for me, so I didn't really have a lot of time. Well, that's okay, I got it.
Yes! Yes! It's okay!
That turns one of the longest stages in the game, like Lost World, down into a single trick. But again, that trick is 3 individual frame-perfect inputs, plus a lot of intuition of knowing how to aim in the air without being able to see anything. And now we are approaching the Egg Viper. This is the final boss of Sonic's story. There was some Puyo Puyo earlier, so you probably heard this song from the beginning of the marathon. If we walk in small circles, he can't quite hit us. We're going to be spin dash jumping into his head to hit him at the earliest possible chance. Thank you, Zio the Lone Wolf, for the raid. Appreciate it a ton. Welcome in. We are currently finishing up Sonic Story and Sonic Adventure. Ooh! Ooh! Ooh, that got scary. I was looking at the chat to see if I missed anything, and I missed the time to spin dash jump. It's a good thing I was able to back that up on those little lights there. Yeah, thank you for the GL. So right now we're in the final phase of the fight. This is the top phase. They'll show up, they'll put the Beyblades down, and he'll try to throw them at us. But if we're quick enough, we can just jump on them and then hit him in the head before he even gets a chance to throw them. We're not going to do that for the last one, because if we did that for the last one, we'd die after killing him. So we're going to have to wait right here, let him throw it out, and then boom. So time for Sonic Story ends when the in-game timer stops, which is going to be right after he tries to crash into us. And that is GG.
Hey guy, また遊んでるぜ。
Thank you everybody for the GGs. Thank you, thank you. I actually have one more trick for Sonic Story, even though the timer would have stopped. If you remember earlier, we set up Tails. We can actually skip one more final cutscene for the fans. Tails returns to the gambling dimension, but that permits us to skip the final cutscene of Sonic Story. One little last cameo. Tails is returned to gambling. Sonic doesn't know what to do. Sonic lets Eggman get away, because right now, more than anything, he knows he's got to get back to Station Square because his friend needs him. So he catches the nearest train. Cut to credits. Thank you everybody for watching Sonic Adventure. Woo! Yeah! Sonic Adventure! This game is so cool! Sonic Story Tournament, September 20th. You should check that out. Twitch.tv/Sonic Adventure Community. Also follow me. I play Sonic Adventure. Check me out. If you like the Dreamcast, check me out. Yippee! This game is great. I'm always glad every time I get the chance to show this game off. This game goes so underappreciated. Like, Sonic Adventure for what it is, a lot of people, soapbox time again, for a lot of people Sonic Adventure is a talking point. People will say, oh, I played Sonic Adventure, meaning they played the PC version of SatX, modded to look like Sonic Adventure. Not a lot of people actually get a chance to play Sonic Adventure itself. So, it's tough to like talk about this game now because the discourse has gotten so muddied. So every time I have a chance to show off the purest, realist form of this game to people, it's always such a treat because this game is so much cooler and so much deeper than anybody has any idea of. And I always love getting a chance to show it because you would never know. You would never know that it's just lost to time essentially. Yeah, Sonic Adventure, very close to my heart. Love this game to death. Brought so much into my life. Really has. And I appreciate this game immensely. I appreciate everybody for watching. And appreciate SegaCrew for having me. And SegaCrew isn't done with me yet. Because I actually have another game on the docket. You thought you were sick of me. You thought I was done? No. starting, let me check my watch, right now, it's time to play Soul Calibur.